Anyway, my presentation today is going to be grass mats and frogging and punching. Those are two of my favorite techniques. They really are, other than swim bait fishing. And really, I grew up fishing the California Delta. I grew up fishing shallow water grass. The majority of the fishing we do out there is basically 2 to 8 foot of water and 4 foot average. And really, it's all choked out with grass. There's different types of braided line. When you're punching mats, I've kind of come to the conclusion you want to use the softest braid you can find. This is 80 pound, and it is actually the Daiwa Samurai. Super slick braid. And what I like about the Daiwa Samurai is it's quiet. When you get into that grass, it doesn't make sounds. Some of the other braids that are like the 6 strand, a little harsher, I like to use that for frog fishing because they're real buoyant. They like to, you get the best action out of the frog. But the braids that I'm using for flipping is like this right here. Oh. Yeah, nature, that we kind of talked about that. You can listen for the sounds. I mean, for throwing that frog, I mean, and if you just get out there and you start seeing dragonflies swooping and everything like that, it's coming to life. And that's what you want. You want those fish to rise up in that water column, and you want them to sit just underneath the surface. And that's gonna make you want to throw a frog. If you're fishing a heavy vegetation area and the mats are just so dense, and I see guys throwing frogs like over the thickest mats, like at Gunnersville, for instance. The mats are so thick, if you're throwing that frog and it's not even making a wake on top, I mean, you're gonna have to hit a little pocket for that fish to really wanna come through and eat it. And you're gonna wanna try a heavier style frog, but I would say you're better off punching. I mean, you're gonna get more bites and you can get through. And they make weights all the way up to 2 ounce now. And you just wanna make sure you're balancing your rod and everything to it and using heavy enough braid. But anyway, if you're choosing a different frog for a situation, pay attention to what the bait is. A lot of times you're fishing a lot of this hydrilla stuff like out west. I threw a lot of black and red frogs because the crawfish would be climbing up in that grass and you would see them actually kind of dangling around all that grass, hanging on the top and stuff. And I was kind of working the frog more as a crawfish skittering across the top than anything else. And a lot of guys like to throw the frog colored frogs and try to mimic a frog, but I just don't think in every situation that is the perfect bait color choice. Try to match what's going on. If you can help it, and a lot of times, I mean, you catch a fish, you can see the crawfish in its mouth. I know like the Mississippi River, La Crosse, Wisconsin, I had won a tournament there on a frog, and there I actually saw frogs, so I was sticking with a green frog. The last time we were there, I saw crawfish up on the rocks, so I stuck with brown frogs and ended up 4th, and black and yellow. And some of the frogs we throw aren't necessarily because the fish are wanting the color, it's so I can see what's going on. Like the yellow-headed blackbird color frog, that was a really good one on the Mississippi River last time too. Because of the mats, they were super green and brown and everything, but that chartreuse, even on top of that, just stood out. And I wanted to see that color because when they came up and busted on it, I wanted to know that it was gone before I set the hook. Very good question. There's a lot of sound in electronics. I use my fish finder to know the depth, and I like to do it during practice. I mean, I have it on. If I'm getting bit with it, I feel like I'm gonna get twice as many bites with it off. So I do turn it off in shallow, flipping, frogging situations. You can stop your sonar, but still leave your map because you still wanna know where your trails are. And if you've got any kind of definition, it's good to at least know where you want to go with it if you're fishing in a big open mat. But yeah, definitely, try to eliminate as much sound as you can. And then there's ways to mask it. You can use the hydrowave. If you want to leave it on, turn your hydrowave on. Don't turn it too loud, just enough. And what that does to me, everyone's got their different theories on. I know it's the sounds of bait fish moving and this and that, but what I think it does is it's a natural way of spooking bait fish, and it gets those fish triggered. The biggest thing, and this is, I mean, I get emails on this and questions and everything is, when do you know to set the hook with a frog? When you get that blow up? When I mean, I've been doing it for so many years now. I mean, it's like 20 years of frog fishing, and that's why I got this problem. But when I see that fish go and I see it bust, it's almost like I take a quick picture in my mind. I see that.
I hope you enjoyed the preview clip, and for more like that and the entire collection, subscribe to the Bass University TV. And if you want the tackle that you see on there, I want you to go to the Bass University Tackle Shop, powered by Tackle Warehouse, and click right here, and it's all at your fingertips.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.